Yes, I am taking notes on this. Thank you so much.
I know. Now I have more ideas.
Yes.
So,
Okay,
yes,
so
that's great.
you do a podcast as well. So it's how to market your horse business, right?
Yeah.
And there you break down marketing into more attainable goals. So how did you come up with this idea and how has your podcast evolved since you started it?
Yeah. So I'm actually about to celebrate 4 years, which I'm super pumped about in a couple of weeks.
Long time for a podcast, says Glenn Haber.
I know, right? Yeah. So how did I come up with it? To be honest, I had a client. She and I were talking, and she was one that told me, you should do a podcast about that. She was like, you really enjoy the teaching aspect of things. And it could be a great way because I was still new in the equestrian industry, to be honest. So it was a great way to show my authority in terms of what I know about marketing and apply it to horse businesses. And so literally, if you Googled at the time, how to market your horse business, the Facebook page, how to market your horse business, was one of the top results. And literally at the same time, that domain was up for sale. And so, yeah, it was so a God thing and a lot of work and conversation to make it happen. Because I was newer to the industry. I hadn't really proven myself in terms of what I would do with it and how I would serve the industry with it, but it worked out. And so I was able to buy the domain, which, I mean, it was a perfect podcast name. And I got the domain and the Facebook page so that, when people are searching for that, they would find it. And my goal was really to make it, like I said, practical and actionable help so that people that are listening can just at least find one nugget, that they can start applying in their business.
I love your nuggets. I like that when you share clips on it. And on social media, I really love those. And I remember the one about, are you leaving money on the table with email marketing? So I find it funny that we had a great conversation about that. But, obviously I respond to your podcast clips and your podcast episodes, but what's been the response to the podcast and the resources that you offer? How do you see the clients actually taking action after consuming the content?
That's such a good question because that's the goal for all of us, right? Like when we're putting this stuff out there, it's not helpful if they're not taking action. And that's honestly something I've started to preach a little bit more on the podcast, even because I'm a huge fan of podcasts too. And I know how easy it is to consume and then set it down and not do anything with it. And that's not the goal. And so that's why I provide the free resources and things for people to take action. I will say there's not like one action that's always the same.